Hi everybody, it's me. I'm not used to making videos. It's very weird to be talking to a phone, thinking that somebody else is going to watch this and I won't even be there. I'll get used to it eventually. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe I'll get better at it at least. Okay. So, the reason I'm making this video is last night I couldn't sleep and I was up until a ridiculous o'clock and I started writing a letter to 2016 as just kind of like a cathartic way to get out all my feelings about it and reflect a little bit, because I've seen a lot of people on YouTube do it and a lot of people that I love on Facebook write about their ups and downs and things they're thankful for and all that good stuff. And I wanted to kind of do the same, but I wanted to do it in a way that I could more easily go back and watch later if I wanted to, so that I could kind of remember and just chronicle my thoughts on it, without having to read it in a notebook or whatever. I could kind of, I don't know, it felt more personal, and also I wanted to be able to share it with you guys. And I know a lot of the people that will watch this are far away, and I won't get to see in person for a long time, so it's kind of a way of indirectly seeing you by you being able to see me. I don't know if that made any sense. Anyway, so here's kind of how my letter started. Started out with like, Dear 2016, and it was like, let me start with a thank you, and then let me start by abruptly saying screw you, because if I were to define you, it'd be a roller coaster. There's ups and downs of all kinds. There were a lot of public world things that happened that were both very good and very bad. A lot of very influential people are no longer with us. But this letter, I kind of wanted to more talk about less of those and more of my personal ups and downs, because even just in my own little world, I had a lot of ups and downs, and I went to go write them all down, just kind of hit major points, and there weren't as many downs as I thought there was. I mean, major ones anyway. Like on the upside, I got put on the transplant list, and then literally less than a month later, by a day, I had a double lung transplant, and everything went great. And it's a little over 2 months later now. It's 2 months and a week-ish. And I'm at home. I'm no longer on oxygen, which I was on for 4.5 years. Today's Saturday, New Year's Eve. On Thursday, I returned all of my old oxygen equipment to the company that I got it from. I returned all my old tanks, some of which I didn't even use. In a couple weeks, I'll probably bring them back their wheelchair, just I forgot previously, to return it. And so that was a major event. It didn't seem like a lot when it happened. I was just dropping off equipment, but the kind of symbolism behind it, where I no longer need this thing I had needed to breathe 24 hours a day for like 4.5 years, I don't need anymore. Because of this journey I took, where a little over a year ago I decided I wanted to pursue getting a lung transplant. I had probably qualified for it for a long time as far as how bad my lungs were, but I finally decided to pursue doing all the testing, and I was an idiot who used to smoke. I quit smoking, and that's a whole other video for some other time, but as of now, I have new lungs, new to me lungs, and they're doing great. I'm doing great. I'm in pulmonary rehab to get my strength back up, because I was in bed for a long time after recovering. But yeah, that was quite a journey. That was a really huge positive thing. At the time, going through all of the testing though was very stressful and hard, because some of the tests are really unpleasant. I'm just gonna throw that out there. Again, story for the time. But There were lows in there because that process just took so long. It took a little over a year. Actually, it was about a year. But it was a year to get on the list, and then I was on the list for a month before I got lungs. And technically that was my second call. The first call didn't work out. So yeah. I got my transplant the night of October 24th and through the 25th, so I say the 25th. And I was released from the hospital November 17th and stayed locally for several weeks for follow-up testing. And I got to come home December 12th in time for Christmas with my family. And I spent Christmas Eve bowling for 2 full hours, and I was sore for like 3 days. So that was a huge thing to kind of do, literally 2 months post-transplant, was to just go spend some time with family and be active without oxygen, and it was so surreal and such a blessing. And then I wrote down this list of other things. I mean, those are obviously huge events, but there are other things that, even though they're smaller, maybe in comparison, still seemed very significant at the time, and so I wanted to touch on those. I wrote a list. I got a mohawk for the first time as part of a fundraiser for the local cancer center in Traverse City that they were trying to raise money to build, so that was pretty awesome. So yeah, I learned what having a mohawk feels like. I probably will do it again, actually, now that I've had that experience. I got 3 tattoos earlier in the year because I knew once I was post-transplant I can't have any more. So I kind of got all the really necessary ones in. There's still one more I really wanted that I'm kind of angry I didn't get, but I'll take lungs over, that any day. I saw a couple improv comedy shows with my aunt and a friend of hers who's now also a friend of mine, and that was so fun. And we all went and saw a play also called The Sound of Uzis, which is like the sound of music combined with the zombie apocalypse. And it sounds weird, and it was, but it was also kind of epic. So that was really great. I had to mention that. I even when I was on oxygen, I still went out like on the lake with my family and with my aunts, uncle, cousins, and that was just awesome. Went to the beach a few times and just stared out at the water. I mean, living next to a gajillion lakes is so, it's almost worth having to deal with snow, which I hate, but that's another topic. Let's see, I picked raspberries at a friend of a family member's house. She just had rows of raspberries, and we just went and we picked like a bucket of them one day, and I don't know why that in particular kind of sticks in my head, but it does, just because it was something I used to do as a kid, like walking along wild raspberries like on the way to the bus stop or something, and you pick a couple and you eat them and that's it, you're just on your way to the bus stop. But yeah, doing it as an adult felt like a really cool throwback, so that experience was fun. Really early in the year, I drove through Storm Jonas, I think it was called, when I went to go visit a very important person to me. And in that journey, I traveled across like 5 different states all by myself. And I was gone for a little over a week, and I met people I'd never met before, and just really amazing people that are gonna be in my life forever now. I just know it. So yeah, that was a really good trip. I was real thankful that I forced myself into kind of doing that, even though I didn't feel very good physically. It was so worth seeing those amazing people. But yeah, I drove through a blizzard on the way back, like 100% whiteout. Some of the roads were technically closed that I drove on. Yeah, probably shouldn't have done it, but I did it and I survived. So yeah, I've driven through a blizzard. That's a new experience. What else is on here? Oh, I started this really random hobby. I was getting into like watching DIY stuff on YouTube, and I was like, I can do some of that. That sounds like fun. Great new hobby. It'll keep me from playing video games all the time or watching Netflix obsessively. Which it didn't, but it got me started on doing other DIY things. But I designed a like zombie apocalypse, or at least post-apocalypse, like outfit with practical weaponry, and I just bought random crap and put it all together, and that was fun. It took up some time and was an experience. People wonder why how old am I? I'm a 31-year-old was buying a lacrosse helmet. I'm like, don't ask. They're my reasons. I moved at some point in this year, I think it was May, into the place I'm at now, which is awesome. It's still coming together because when I first moved in, I was still on oxygen, and I didn't actually unpack all of my things until recently, because I actually had the energy to do so, which again, weird, getting used to it. But yeah, I moved. That was a big event. What is this? Oh, my aunt and I took a class, how to properly use like a topographical map and a compass to find your way, and honestly, most of that information is just already lost in my brain. But the one thing that kind of stuck with me was the instructor was talking about how you are never lost, your destination is lost. So it kind of circles around to like, it's all about the journey, not the destination type of metaphor. But it was really interesting because it kind of took away any stress I could ever feel about taking a wrong turn or trying to find somewhere I've never been before. It's always like, I'll find it eventually. I'm never lost. Might feel lost sometimes, but never am. There were 3 things I wrote down on the negative side. I'll just read them verbatim. First winter survived, because it was not fun. Not a fan of snow at all. I don't really have much else to say about that. Other than that, that kind of sums it up. My Instagram got hacked. My old one, I have no idea why. Like, I had like maybe 6, 7 pictures. That was it. Didn't follow a lot of people. Almost never used it. I'm on it a lot now. I don't post a lot, but I'm on it a lot because I like looking at other people's pictures. But so I had to get a new Instagram, and I was like, why? Like, I didn't. And it made no sense only because like it got hacked and they deleted it. Like, they didn't post anything graphic or what. They just deleted it. No reason. So yeah, my Instagram got hacked. So winter, Instagram, and then I wrote down, broke my own heart twice. And I'm not going to explain it because those involved probably understand it. And that's kind of all that matters. It's just a matter of saying that sentence, if I'm ever going to look back on it, and remembering that you have the capability of being an asshole to yourself. Stop it. Trust yourself more often. And anyone watching that should maybe take that advice. Maybe it'll help so you don't go through the same crap I did. Anyway, so yeah, there were a lot of really great things that happened this year, and I'm most thankful not for the events, but all of the people involved in making those events amazing. Friends, family, especially new people that I met, some of which I've not met yet. They're internet friends that I met through different varying forms of social media. And I'm thankful to myself for finally doing something that I've wanted to do for a long time. I've wanted to make videos. And I don't know why. It just kind of always intrigued me, but I was never like, I don't want to be in front of a camera. But it's just like, so what? You know you want to do this, just go do it. So I did. I made a video. This is my first video other than my camera mishap adventure from earlier, which is why I'm using a phone to record this instead of my actual camera, because I'm still figuring it out. Not deleting things, that I figured out, but as far as the audio on it, it's very weird, because when it autofocuses, you can hear that over me, so I might have to get a separate mic, but we'll see. So yeah, that's kind of my thoughts on 2016 and reflecting back, and I'm so grateful for each and every one of you that watch this. And if you want, if you're seeing this on Facebook or YouTube or whatever, let me know what you're most thankful for in a comment or a letter or however you get a hold of me. Yeah. Hopefully I'll be making more videos, and I'll post them wherever I post them. If you want to follow me, I'll try to put links to my various outlets in the description box and all that good stuff. I don't know what YouTubers say. I don't think I'm a YouTuber yet, so I'll just do my best to do whatever I do. Alright, I love you all, and love each other, always.